running away from the past I left behind. I'm looking for answers, but I'm blinded by the light. I'm lost in the music, and I stay here for the night. I promise I'll be gone in the morning, out of sight and out of mind. No blind, out of sight and out of mind. No standing still. It's like you're stuck in a nightmare, but you keep doing it for the thrill. Well, this is reality, you only live it once, so wake up from your dream. But just for tonight, let the lines get blurred, let your thoughts be free, let your thoughts be free.
Hello there and welcome to another Elite FPL stream with myself, Sterve-O, which is gonna annoy people. Do you know, there's one thing that I've discovered about this start of the season that I've personally absolutely detested, and I'd love to swear, but I can't. But let's just leave it to clean language, shall we? It's just the pieces of garbage that have been trolling this channel, trolling me. It has been quite extraordinary, and I kind of addressed it the other day, really, but I just find the online world just absolutely messed up, and we're all part of it. We're all part of it. And it's like an individual was saying to me privately, these people wouldn't even say it to your face. And it's very, very true. And yeah, I just find it quite incredible that certainly with the start of any fantasy football season, you get absolute muppets that come out and attack anybody. It could be us, it could be FPL Mate, it could be FPL Juice, it could be FPL Focal. What other FPL names are there? And then after a period of 10 weeks, it dies off, and then these muppets are gone. and then get back to normal. The reason why I bring all this up is because I'll be honest with you, I find it the hypocrisy. I did a quick short this morning about it all. Literally was a short, all of 20 seconds. But the hypocrisy from you, from content creators, from anybody that doesn't seem to get points, they have to somehow find a way to spin it so it turns out to be a positive for them, rather than just going, yeah, I didn't bring him in, or yeah, he was a good shout, I just never really thought about it. Rather than just being open and honest. This is what me and Jason always keep banging on about, the fakeness of the online world and content creating and stuff. Just complete fucking losers. Like, seriously, have a fucking look in the mirror. Have a look in the mirror over there. You're fucking cretins. And this absolute utter bullshit, absolute fucking bullshit that these content creators are coming out with regarding, well, the expected goal didn't suggest to get Sterling. Did anybody say you should be getting Sterling? No. You don't need to justify to your hundreds of thousands of Twitter followers or your hundreds of thousands of subscribers that you didn't bring Sterling in. What, you're worried about that person, that person there that's going to go, you didn't recommend me to get Sterling, so I'm not going to follow you anymore. Don't let them follow you anymore then. This is what fascinates me about these individuals that do content creation seriously, is that they can't lose a single one of you. They've got to keep on flogging to death to you every single tiny fucking bit of aspect of their soul just so they can keep you on board. And the fucking shite that I read about people congratulating me about Sterling, I'm thinking, you're the fucking piece of shit that said I shouldn't bring him in. And you, and you, and you. Just fucking incredible. Absolutely fucking incredible. And it's like Harbour Boy said, wait until the game week's over. Wait until the game week's over to see if either A, your transfers are paid off, or in my specific case, if the -12 has paid off. Well, so far I've got egg on my face, because actually, if I hadn't done anything, Rashford's come through, Bruno Fernandes has come through today, as expected. Albeit I didn't expect Bruno Fernandes to get a double-digit haul. I did say that there was a decent chance, but I'd expect him just to get an attack in return. Same with Rashford. But Man United are fucking awful. They're terrible. And it's why people like me are seriously considering just hold the wildcard for game week 5. Do the wildcard in the international break. I can, in theory, leave my team as it is for next week, which I probably will do. I don't think I'm going to touch this team at all. It's just staying as it is. Because the teams have got decent fixtures. I'm happy going into the international break with, 2 free transfers and maybe able to take a -4. I've actually got a wild card team in front of me, but the team is like identical, barring 4 players. So I would get rid of Jackson. We'll get onto the games in a minute. I'd get rid of Jackson, but I'd bring in a Chelsea defender. Still want 3 Chelsea players. So just for argument's sake, I'd get in Disasi, just for argument's sake. I still have Chilwell, still have Akanji. I'd get rid of Onana and I'd bring in Tottenham goalkeeper. Oh, Natasha, Firetog. You know the player that you said that you didn't want to bring in, the guy that I recommended you to get in, the Tottenham goalkeeper, and you said, no, why would I want him? Oh, guess what he did today? I'd get in Maddison. I'd have Sterling, Foden, Mbeumo. My front line would be Isaac and I'd bring in Isaac. I'd probably go with Isaac. I think tomorrow, for example, I think he's going to go up in price again after he does very well against Liverpool. I kind of need to look at Newcastle's fixtures. But certainly I've no fears of them going against Brighton, Brentford, Sheffield United, Burnley. I mean, it's ridiculous. I can already hear someone going, yeah, but they got Champions League rotation. Seriously, just shut the fuck up about rotation. Don't worry about it. It's like Carl Pilkington says in Derek. You got your ring? Now fuck off. Go on, fuck off. Don't worry about it. You got your ring. Don't worry about it. Just fuck off. I love Carl Pilkington in that fucking series. He is incredible. But yeah, I just look at. I think I don't necessarily need to wildcard yet. I definitely don't need to wildcard yet. I think I can go into the international break with 2 free transfers and just go, right, now I can reassess everything. We're at game week 5. I've done shit so far. What's gone right? What's gone wrong? Well, so far what's gone wrong is getting rid of, well, specifically Fernandes. But really, as I said, there's a plan in place. I've got rid of shit and replaced him with players which I think moving forward are better. So for argument's sake, did Gabriel play today? No. Who did I bring in? A Man City defender. Fernandes, he got 13 points or whatever it was today. But Sterling got, you deduct the 4 points, but Sterling got whatever he did, so actually came out on top by 2 points. Never would have predicted Sterling to do what he did, but we'll get onto that in a minute. Eze, what did he do? Nothing. And we'll find out what Watkins does tomorrow. But Jackson came through with a goal, as I predicted. But I'm expecting Watkins to get a goal. But moving forward, that's what the whole point is. But all these fucking dickheads that come out and say, you're not allowed to do it, you can't do it. You can. And if you fucking want to do a -12 or a -16, just get on with it. You know, the fucking patronising comments I see. Well, if I was in your boots, Steve-O, I would do a wildcard. Yeah, but you're not in my boots, are you? So just stick to fucking focusing on your own fucking team. It is extraordinary what the shite people come out with. And what's more worrying is you fucking watch this shit. I haven't come on here and gone, come on, you have to watch me. I go on Twitter and I just say, if you fancy watching Elite FPL and are interested in me speaking rubbish, click this link. I haven't stuck a gun to your fucking head and gone, if you don't come along here, I'm going to blow your brains out. No, you're the idiots that are coming to watch it, and yet you still persist on writing shite in the comments. It is fucking extraordinary. And it really does give you an insight into the minds of individuals that are just consumed with the online world, where they feel they can just write anything they want without realising what they're writing. Because, trust me, do you remember the other day when I said about, the Muppets that are writing complaints to me and writing negative comments about me and stuff and slagging me off? And when I highlighted this, guess who didn't write anything? Yep, you guessed it. Because they realised, it's me, shit. Oh, fuck, yeah, it's me. Yeah, I'm that idiot that's actually saying those horrible things to him. I better stop now. Yes, you fucking should stop. Because you're a fucking piece of shit. I thought I could keep my language down, but I can't. Hence why we're shadow banned. I'll continue saying that. And I know Jason's going to get pissed off with this stream. But thankfully, he's not going to be watching. So, but yeah. Now I can probably go to the chat and just quickly say hello to the poor bastards that have come along and decided to watch this shit. Chris Tinson, good afternoon. Animations, Keenan, Zimmy, Scotty D, Cinnamon, Zimmy, John Harris is here, blimey. Matthew Zaishi, Mark, someone called Mark, Bob's Lasagna, Michael Tillett, Peter Scullion, Dazid, and many, many more people here. Oh, Fire Talk, here you are. How did Anana do for you? Fuck's sake. What was I going to say? Rajanav, hello there. Paulie, good evening. Yeah, today's games, or last night's games. So, when watching last night, either when Jackson scored, still thought he was shit. He did exactly what he's been doing the last 2 games that I saw, which is makes a few mazy runs, looks quick, but really he's not the striker Chelsea need. Chelsea need a proper number 9. Jackson looks more like someone that's better off playing as a a creative role or a left side, right side, whatever midfielder. I don't care. I'm not knowledgeable enough to know what positions are, but he ain't a striker. It's why it's a bit. They're just a better version of. They're just a better version of Crystal Palace. And what I mean by that is that Crystal Palace have got AU, Eze, Edouard, and Schlupp. Whereas Chelsea have got whoever they want to call up. Sterling, Jackson, Fernandez, Gallagher, Midrick, whatever. And of all the players that were playing for Chelsea yesterday, Gallagher and Jackson were the two that I was like, why are you even playing in this team? How are you even selected to play for Chelsea? You're a fucking embarrassment. And I was not impressed by them neither. And I'm not going to lie, I was, even when Jackson scored, I was just like, I want to remove him already. I want him out of my team already. But going on the plan, I'm just looking at those 3 fixtures for Chelsea and I'm just going, look, they got them, Nottingham Forest and then Bournemouth. Ironically, 2 teams in which aren't going to be easy to play. Bournemouth, I watched bits of the Tottenham game today. But certainly Bournemouth got their act together in the second half. And Nottingham Forest are no pushovers. I would never in a million years think that they were going to be 2-0 up after... I mean, I've just seen the highlights of the game just now, 2-0 after 10 seconds. But that ain't going to be a walkover either. And I'm now kind of regretting the fact I got Jackson. I'd rather have gone with a defender. That's what I'd rather have gone with. But to kind of just play it safe and kind of stick with a kind of sheep mentality, I think it's probably going to be the right decision. Like I said, Ollie Watkins is probably going to get a goal tomorrow, but it ain't going to be an easy game. Again, that's another thing with fantasy football managers. They seem to just be so biased towards their own decision making. So it'll be, Aston Villa are going to win 5-0. You know, if they've got Man United players, they're going to win 6-0. If they've got Brighton players, they're going to win 4-0. You get the idea. It doesn't happen. This is why, from my point of view, I just look at probabilities. What is the mathematical probability of this actually happening? Usually, the answer is, it ain't going to be happening. Usually, the answer is it's not going to be happening. But I realistically predict that this player will do this player will do that. And I think that moving forward, I'd rather have this player run than that player. So, for argument's sake, who would you rather have, Foden or Eze? Should we do a poll? Who would you rather have, Foden or Eze? Well, 95% of you are going to put Foden, obviously. Moving forward, even if Eze was to score today and Foden did nothing tomorrow, you're still going to want Foden over Eze for the next several fixtures. Same with Sterling. Who would you rather have, Sterling or Fernandez? Who would you rather have, Akanji or Gabriel? And it just goes on and on and on and on and on. You just have to work out on a percentage basis what's the likelihood of this individual doing this individual doing that. And if you're realistic enough, you'll come to a conclusion that actually this is worth me having this particular player. But with Jackson, I will hold my hands up and go, I wish I didn't own him. Anybody that bought him in or any owners, we're very, 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 very lucky. Very lucky that he got something last night. Because he was useless. Everyone else, barring Gallagher, were fantastic. Fernandez, if he could practice on his shooting, he would be in everybody's team. He is an absolute world-class footballer in the making. He is going to be, in the next 5 to 6 years, if he progresses in the way that he's already just started to show signs with Chelsea, he's going to be absolutely phenomenal. Look, I don't know anything about Fernandez. I don't know what team he's come from. All I know is that he's an Argentinian. That's it. But he is phenomenal. And then when you got someone like Sterling, who is just in the form of his life at the moment, that's been clearly been told by Pochettino, have some fun, mate. You've been shackled for months and months and years. I've taken them off. Now go and enjoy yourself. That's what he's doing. You saw it in the game against West Ham. You saw it last night. That first goal we scored was Messi-esque. In fact, to be honest, that was just a typical goal Messi used to score all the time. In the words of JR, by God, I'm glad that I own him. As a simple example. And of course, I mean, I'm not going to lie. And if Jason says that it's a load of nonsense, I've got proof that it's not. I actually told him to play Gusto. Because he asked in the Discord members chat who to play. And I messaged and I just said, look, mate, essentially, Brentford have got a really good... Because he had Henry in to start with. And I just said, look, they've got a decent chance of a clean sheet tomorrow. But if there's any time to play Gusto, it's today. And that's what he did. And as ever, in fact, I'll just play the message. Let me just play the voice message that I sent Jason last night. Regarding him. Here we go. This would better be it. I will be saying this on stream, but how many times over the years that me and you have like 3 players from the same team, and one of them is a slight differential in this case, Gusto versus Sterling, and yet your fucking player still comes out with the same fucking points. It is just unreal. Unreal. And you think how many times that genuinely has happened over the years where me and Jason have got from the same team 3 players, and yet he's got, in this specific case, he's got Gusto versus Sterling, and yet they both come out with the same points. Trent Alexander-Arnold versus Salah. Oh, he's got Trent, but he comes through with the exact same points as Salah. Salah gets 15 points, so does Trent. Son versus Kane. I'll have Son, he's got Kane. They both get the same points, 12 points each or some bollocks like that. It's unbelievable. And yeah, I mean, the first assist for Sterling, let's get real here, was like a Stupinan assist for Matoma last week, wasn't it? It was just take the ball, Sterling gets past about 400 players and then scores, and then Gusto gets an assist for it. Second one, of course, that was an actual sit. That was like a proper assist. But yeah, for anybody that played Gusto, you played a blinder. But overall, I'm within reason. Moving forward, I'm happy that I've got the triple Chelsea players. And then, of course, we move on to today, where I was at work for the Tottenham game, but I had it on my phone, and it was just Spurs, as me and Jason have spoke to death about Kevin De Bruyne. Sorry, I mean Maddison. Everything is just going through Maddison. Everything. And he is certainly a player that I am wanting to get in. Now, admittedly, a lot of people that got rid of him, like Jason, for argument's sake, got rid of him because they just assumed he was going to be injured and he wasn't going to be playing this week. Even Bruce said he ain't going to be playing this week. And yesterday he trained, and then today he's playing. And he gets he was in the right place at the right time, but a scuffed goal, didn't he? So I think that he is an individual who I'm certainly keeping my eye on, and I am potentially tempted to get him in, but for Martinelli. But I think I'm just going to hold the Arsenal assets for that Man United game, because Man United are there for the taking at the moment. I don't want to miss out on that, and I expect that to be quite a few goals in that game. But yeah, Spurs, I was listening to the commentary, and then I watched like 25-30 minutes of the second half. I saw 10 minutes of the last 10 minutes of the first half and 25 minutes of the second half, and Spurs were just, let's get real here, they dominated the game and deserved to win 2-0. Obviously the goals from Maddison and Kulusevski. Sarr, Brew was being banging on about Sarr as a player to get in as a 4.5. So 3 o'clock comes along and I'm listening into the United stand for Mark Goldbridge doing Man United versus Nottingham Forest, and I just laughed aloud. I just laughed aloud when Forest scored. You just couldn't make it. I didn't even think about the fact that I had a Nana in goal. It didn't even occur to me that I had a Nana in goal. I just laughed. And then there was, I don't know if anybody watched it, but there was actually a genuinely organic moment when Mark Goldbridge actually got angry. But then he turned it around to become all clean again. But for that split second, on that second goal, he was furious. And it was great. But like I said, unfortunately, then he just became the fake Mark Goldbridge. But whatever. Live on TalkSport now, if you want to tune into him instead. But yeah, when it went 2-0 again, I just laughed. But I was in the middle of it. I was literally in the middle of a thunderstorm. I was in my tug at work doing the bins and everything, and I just couldn't do anything because the rain was absolutely pouring down. And it was literally, the thunderstorm was right above us. And I'm like just listening into Mark Goldbridge, like just hearing him just explaining how bad Man United are, and I'm just like, I can't wait to get rid of off these assets. I just cannot wait to get the fuck off these assets. And of course, then you hear Casemiro scored, Fernandes with the assist. Yeah, what a surprise. And then it was Eriksen that scored, thanks to Rashford. I'm thinking, oh, well, at least I got an assist there. And I'm not going to lie, I then thought of Firetog. Because I did hear that Brentford were 1-0 up, and I checked to see who scored, and it wasn't Mbeumo. So I was thinking, oh, right, okay, I've got points over, what's his face? Mbeumo. And then, obviously, later on, Rashford is fouled. Fernandes steps up for the penalty. All I was thinking is, what's the maths on that? So Fernandes gets 5 points for a goal, 3 points for an assist. He's going to get 3 bonus points, plus the 2 appearance points. That's 13, whatever it worked out to be. I did just notice a minute ago he got a yellow card, but whatever. 12 points or whatever it worked out to be. And yeah, I was just at that point thinking, should I have stuck to my guns? Should I have just done Sterling out for Eze? Sterling in for Eze? No, Steve-O, you had a plan, don't worry about it. It's paid off by 2 points. Brentford Crystal Palace was called by the history saying it'd be 1-1. That's exactly how it ended. Crystal Palace with a late goal. A player who I genuinely was going to be bringing into my Sky team, Anderson, scoring. Not for this week, it was going to be for... It was going to be for in a couple of weeks' time. I was going to bring in Anderson, but he scored today. And then the most funniest one of the lot, Everton losing 1-0. Fantastic. As I predicted, Sean Dyche to be fired by the 10th game week, or more specifically, Everton by game week 10 will be in the relegation zone, having failed to do X, Y and Z, and I expect Dyche to be fired. Well, I have a feeling that he could be fired on the international break, because they ain't beating Sheffield United. They are not going to be beating Sheffield United next week. They are away, and this is the perfect opportunity for Sheffield United to get some points on the board, and they are not going to be beating Sheffield United. So actually, Sean Dyche could, in theory, be fired in the international break. In theory, depending how how strong the owners feel. How strong the owners feel about either wanting to keep him or not. Or do they just think, to hell with this? We have been on a terrible run of form since last season. We only just survived by the skin of our teeth because Burnley were just so bad. Or whatever year it was, I can't remember now. We were so bad last year. We only just survived by the skin of our teeth. So I think it could be time to say goodbye to Sean Dyche. And I think it would be the right decision. And then just now, we had Brighton losing 3-1. By all accounts, West Ham just did what they needed to do. And yeah, I'm just happy the fact that I've got Bowen in my Sky team. It's a shame he didn't do that last week when I had him captain. But yeah, Antonio Bowen, Ward-Prowse. I believe Dan's got Ward-Prowse. Didn't Gabriel De Rot mention that in the Discord? Well, yeah. You got Bowen, 2 assists. And yeah, like I say, Ward-Prowse coming through with that as well. So yeah, it's I don't know what to make of this week, to be honest with you. So far, at the moment I'm on 49 points. I've still got Akanji, Foden, Haaland left to play in a very favourable fixture. And I think a lot of people have got very similar players because no one's got Burnley players. Aston Villa, your person here or there will have Watkins or Diaby. Sheffield United, nobody. Man City, again, 2 for definite, 3. And then Newcastle, there may be the odd person. Mr. Reed has got Isaac. And then Liverpool, it's the likes of Diaz, Jota, Salah, Trent, if you even own Trent anymore. So yeah, tomorrow, as I stated, I'm going AEW. I've told 3 people that I know for fact will end up probably messaging me what the results are. I've told them, just don't tell me anything. I don't want to know anything. Because I'm going the AEW pay-per-view all in tomorrow at Wembley. So I'm more looking forward to the fact of the experience more than actually the actual event, because I have no interest in wrestling at all these days, especially today's market. And ironically, AEW itself, I think AEW is just too it's too fake for me, to be honest with you. It's too over the top, too many flips, trips, tricks, and yeah, it just bores me, to be honest with you. Anyway, blimey, a new member, Scotland Investor. Wow, a new member. Christ. Thank you for the support. John Harrison, I'm on 20 points after a -4. Well, clearly you've got about 50 players left to play, to be honest with you. Peter Ward saying, as an Everton fan, we're not sacking Dyche with that poorly run. Colm saying, how did Sarr keep the ball out of the net? Because he's incredible. Do you think Ten Hag will make it to January? Yes. Yeah, it just sums up, doesn't it? Everton, Gazno saying, Everton conceded 1 attempt on target against both Fulham and Wolves and lost both games. Notes from the Hurdle saying, Forest at home, you have to expect big attacking returns. Early away goals make it even. Like, yeah, and what does that mean? I'm thinking of getting rid of Rashford for Diaz because United have Arsenal up next. Yep, I think I'm going to hold on to Rashford. I think that Arsenal have got mistakes in them, to be honest with you. A lot of mistakes in them. Ryan saying, what do I think about Gusto? Yeah, he's alright. Didn't exactly do much for me last night. He's okay at what he does, but once Reece James comes back, he ain't going to be threatening him. In FPL, Everton are definitely a team to target. Do I think West Ham are better without Rice? I haven't got a clue. I'm not knowledgeable enough to know the answer to that. I'm only on 10 points, user says, and I have taken a -4. Do you have any tips how to relax? Because this game week has given me mental health. Delete the app, maybe? Who to sell first, Bruno Fernandes or Odegaard? Odegaard. Do you know what? I can't stand doing these questions. It bores me. Genuinely bores me. That's gone and lost us 20 different 20 subscribers. Honestly, I can't stand the questionnaire format. It bores me. I would say, does anybody want to come on Discord? Does anybody want to come on Discord? You've got about 10 seconds to come on, because I'm just absolutely shattered, to be honest with you. I'd rather be doing this with Jason. I'd rather be doing this with Jason. Animations, come on then, but you better have something to talk about, because... How'd you get on Discord? Have a guess. Have a random guess. You click the link that's in the description, and that's it done. What did someone say to me once? You can't talk to your viewers like that. You can't talk to us like that. I can and I will. Yeah, so Animations have got about 30 seconds to jump on Discord. If he doesn't, this stream is ending. It's quite simple, really. I didn't realise how boring these streams would be, to be honest with you. Peter Ward saying I might watch The Office. Listen to my I might watch The Office. Listen to my podcast about The Office. Yeah, listen to my shitty podcast about The Office. And then get entertained by that. It's Series 1, Episode 2 was released the other day at Total Steve. If you want to listen to absolute crap on that, at Total Steve on Spotify. And the quiz night is out on Tuesday. I still need to record the training day. In fact, I may actually do the training day after this, to be honest with you. More entertaining. Steve, have you found a new job? Nope. Go on BBC iPlayer PK7. Good afternoon, Ramanathan. Well, Animations isn't coming on live on air, so unfortunately not. What excites me? Unfortunately, I can't say it out loud. Streaming with Jason, perhaps. That's about as far as it goes. Hooray, at last, Animations is here. Get someone else to speak for 5 minutes. Again, I'll be completely blunt with you. If you don't like this attitude, fuck off. It's quite simple, really. Yeah, but Steve-O, I like your streams, though. It's what these people... It's what makes me laugh about these people, is that they go, God, you're so negative. Yeah. But you're watching it, and you've continued watching it for the past 5 minutes. Again, ask yourself why you're watching this. If you don't like the presenter, don't watch. When I watch YouTube streams and after 10 seconds or 5 minutes I'm like, I don't like this guy, I go. Done. I don't go on the live chat, oh, you're shit, mate. You're fucking negative. No. I just go, never seen this guy before, never will watch him again. Fine. Saw that as a comment the other day, actually. It was great. I just told him, thanks for watching, thanks for that extra view. It's brilliant. Thanks for going out your way to actually comment on this fucking shit. Alright, here we go. Animations. What do you want to talk about? It's like that scene in Die Hard. Everybody heard about that bomb, yes? There's a big bomb in one of the schools. And the police don't know where it is. Animations, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I had a few topics about stuff. The first one was the big talking point, as you was discussing at the start of the stream, about people hating on you and just stuff like that.
All right.
I think it's absolutely disgusting, I think, because it's just, people shouldn't be hating on you for like just making decisions that you like to make, if you get what I mean. I think playing FPL is just a game of fun for people, and I think if you make the decisions to get Sterling as an example, people should not be hating on you from getting the points from him. I mean, he looked great the other day, and I rated that pick the other day when you got him in. So I just think people hating on you is just horrible, and it's just, if you're gonna hate, just fuck off. Excuse me swearing, but yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a true factor of life that I've never understood within the online world specifically, why everybody's so self-entitled. Like, if you... I always use the world of fitness as the perfect example. If you think fantasy football is bad when it comes to clickbait whoring, go to the fitness world. But the difference is that if I watch something and it annoys me, I don't feel the need to comment on it. The only time I personally feel the need to comment on anybody's stuff is if I actually subscribe to the channel itself and they've done something which I either agree with, disagree with, or whatever, and I kind of wish or would like to think that the YouTuber will just comment back with something. They never do. They just give you the old heart. Brilliant. They don't give you anything. But if you've actually put like a question to the person or whatever, and it's about something within the video and they give you nothing back, I kind of just think, is there much point in me actually commenting if you're not going to give anything back? Now, I'm not going to lie, with Elite FPL, 99.9% of the comments we get on videos is usually just a statement, and there's no need for a specific reply back. But the online trolling, where people feel the need that they have to write something, extremely... what's the word I'm looking for here?
Horrible or rude.
Yeah, just rude, horrible. What's the word? Discriminatory almost. It's just insane. I mean, is there anything in your life, Animations, where you feel so angered by that you have to feel the need to be honest, that you feel the need to write a comment about it, even if it's on Twitter or whatever, Instagram?
Well, I think it's like to do with like posts and stuff like that. Like, for example, this isn't to do with FPL, so I'm sorry if people in the chat get bored, but Bray Wyatt passed away yesterday, or the day before, sorry. And I was seeing people on that saying about stuff about him and all that, and it kind of made me a bit angry because
like
I
what?
always rated Bray just like people wanted to know how he died, and people were saying, it was because of this and that, and because he didn't get the COVID jab as an example. He passed away by a heart attack, if you didn't know. But people were trying to get those details out, when I felt like annoyed that people were just trying to find out how he died, if you get what I mean.
What, rather than just allowing what the word I'm looking for is, rather than just saying the standard line of rest in peace, whatever you want to say about it.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, kind of like a... You go on.
Sorry, what, sorry?
You're about to say something.
Oh no, I was just saying, but I was gonna let you carry on. But I was just, stuff like that just annoys me when they try and be personal and they don't let the families grief and stuff like that. Stuff like that annoys me. But yeah.
So what do you write back then? What do you feel the need to write back? What do you say?
Well, I don't write back all the time. It's just sometimes I think to myself, if I was going to say to this person, I would say, let them be. Oh, not be, sorry. Wait until this information comes out personally by some of these people, and just let them grieve in peace and just stop being so personal.
Yes, precisely. And what was the second subject you wanted to bring up tonight?
Well, it was just a little bit about my team. I basically just did the Jackson move like everyone else and kept Fernandes, and I'm chuffed with it. I mean, Foden's going to feast for you guys tomorrow, and the other assets, like you got Kanji and stuff. So.
Well, you say he's going to feast for us tomorrow. I mean, we don't know this. I mean, I'm predicting a minimum of at least an attack in return. I'd like to think we'll get an attack in return from Foden tomorrow. Where are you in the YouTube league, bud? Do you know?
I'm 12th now. I've gone up one place. I'm pretty sure.
Blimey, you are. Oh, there you are. Well, it says here you're 11th. I don't know if that was yesterday.
Sorry, I thought I might have been. I was 12th then. I must have been. And I went up.
Well, this was. I'm assuming you're 91,955th. That's what it says on my screen right here.
Yeah.
So, right, you've got no one left apart from Haaland. Well, you've basically got no one left.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Foden was on my mind, but I think Bruno at home. I just thought I'm going to give him Forest and then wait till next week. Really, and I'm glad. I did.
Like Jason, you benched this Udogie, which is a perfectly fine reasoning as to. But why did you choose to bench Udogie? What's the reasoning for you why you benched him?
Well, there's a few reasons. I mean, my defence, I thought at least 2 or 3 of them out of the 4 of them. Obviously, Onana, Estepinian, Saliba, and Chilwell. I thought they'd have a good clean sheets. And when I watched Chelsea last night, I thought Chelsea were very good, and Chilwell could have easily had a goal as well. But I just thought that they all had bare fixtures, and obviously today I saw your YouTube or the video you put up there saying that Man United and Arsenal both conceded, and my heart just sank when I was watching that. But yeah, I think I'm going to rectify that this week though, and probably play a doggy over Saliba against Man United. But
did you watch So you watched the Chelsea game last night?
Yeah, I did. I was watching it with the father.
What did you think?
Yeah, I thought Jackson, I think you were saying earlier about him, he didn't really look as great. He was just he was sprinting, trying to get the opportunities, and just didn't really have much effect really, apart from his goal. I thought Sterling looked really good, and when I first saw Sterling score a few times, or the goal, and was it a goal and 2 assists for Sterling? I think was it 2
yes,
goals and assists?
2 goals and assists. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, when I first saw Sterling do that, I immediately thought of you and just some of the people in the league and stuff. But that's besides the point. But Sterling looked very good from what I was watching. And then the only other real asset from that team that I liked was Gusto. Just reminded me a lot of Reece James.
See, I don't know. I thought Gusto was quite reserved. He wasn't going as far forward than expected. I don't know if that's orders by Pochettino or anything. Like I said, he did a perfectly good job. There was nothing wrong with what he did. I thought, what he did do was perfectly fine. But nothing really stood out for me where I was like, there's no way in hell he's a competition for Reece James whatsoever. In fact, I saw more from, I know they were in completely different positions, but I saw more from Maatsen in his 5-minute cameo than I did from Gusto, even though Gusto played all of the game. But from an attacking, threatening point of view, I didn't see much. He seemed more like just a traditional right back, just defended well and stuff. But for a £4 million player, you cannot go wrong. I mean, this is ridiculous. In the YouTube chat league, we've got Vijay. Can you guess where, without looking animation, can you guess where Vijay is overall in the world? So you're 11th on 91,000th. So you're 11th. So where would Vijay be that's top?
I'm going to go the top 1K, I'm going to guess.
Yep, he's 941 in the world. And, wow. Yeah, ridiculous. He had Gusto and Chilwell last night. He benched the Stupinan.
That's good.
So he clearly went down the route of, well, this is going to be one of the few times that I'm going to be able to play Gusto, so to hell with it, let's do it now. Johnston in goal, Saliba, Mbuemo, Martinelli. He had Saka captain today.
Wow, fair play.
He went with Visa, and he's got Haaland, Foden and Salah left to play. Right. So Vijay could, if Haaland does nothing, could potentially move into the top, dare I say, 500 if Foden and Salah do something tomorrow, potentially. So, and then if we look at Alex Volo, who's still second, 10 points clear of third, So Alex follows 3,884th. His wild card so far on 47 points. He's a Jesus Christ. His bench is disgusting. So he's got Edison in goal. He played Chilwell, Saliba, Estupiñán, Saka, Martinelli's son. He's got Foden, Sterling, Haaland, captain Jackson, but on his bench, your doggy and Anderson. I mean,
oh mate, how's that?
That is horrific. And then third in the YouTube chat league, we got FPL Bailey. Now again, this is all before bonus points and everything, admittedly, but he's 20,000th in the world. He had Richarlison. Richarlison got 0 points.
Yeah, he must have got a yellow or something, and then
Yeah, he did.
I didn't see the game, but yeah.
He got a yellow card, and he only played 59 minutes.
Oh mate.
He's another one like Jackson. I just don't think he fits as a number 9. He'd fit more better on behind the striker, in my opinion. But FPL Bailey's got tomorrow just Haaland, and I'm amazed. I suppose he had a defensive decision to make here. It was either to play Ake, Estupiñán or Gusto, and he went with Estupiñán. But I tell you what, I probably would have gone with Ake over Estupiñán probably, because like I say, these Gusto owners, they're only going to probably play him because you said you don't own Gusto, do you?
No, well, he was a transfer I was thinking about, because I've got Estupiñán against Newcastle, Saliba's against Man United. I'm definitely not playing him. And then it's Chilwell against who have they got next? I can't remember.
Forest.
Yeah, Forest. Yeah, so I would play him. Yeah, but Gusto is on my list of players.
Thing is, you've got Udogie, who's playing Burnley.
Yes, I'm definitely. I think I'm going to play him over Estupiñán, because I think, like you said about Isaac, I think he's going to have a good day against them. At least get a goal and wipe out that clean sheet, or Wilson will, or someone will. Because
I don't think we're going to be. I don't think we're going to be scoring tomorrow against Aston Villa. I just don't see it. That game's either going to be. I say I don't see us scoring. No, I don't. I think like a 0-0, 1-0, 2-0 Aston Villa, something like that. We may nick a goal. But against Tottenham, I just don't see it. The problem is we just don't have good enough strikers. That's the problem. And Company's just integrating so many bloody different players. He's a very, very good manager. I'm not going to pretend that he's not. But no, next week, I wouldn't play double defence against Nottingham Forest, personally. I think that Nottingham Forest are a different animal this season, and I do expect them to... Well, I expect them to actually do a lot better away from home, unlike last year. I'm not really confident in Chelsea keeping a clean sheet next week, but I'd probably... Because were you that really inspired by Chelsea scoring many goals last night? Because I personally wasn't. It seemed to be a struggle.
No, I wasn't really. Apart from just Sterling creating chances and stuff and scoring, it didn't look amazingly great from the start, from what I watched.
Next week, of course, there's going to be a captaincy headache. Most people are probably going to be captain Haaland versus Fulham. In fact, do you think this Sheffield United game and the Fulham game could be the 2 weeks where Haaland gets a double hat-trick?
I could definitely see it. I think that the points will be shared, I think, tomorrow. I think between probably Foden, Alvarez and Haaland. But I could easily see him getting a hat-trick.
Yeah, I think that's the key. I think that Haaland this week and next week, he's got a very, very good chance of coming through with a high-scoring return. Because on the Sunday, Salah versus Aston Villa, I don't think it's going to be particularly profitable. And then obviously you've got Arsenal and Man United, where no one's going to be wanting to captain any of their players whatsoever. You've got a lot of money in the bank, by the way, 0.9 extra.
No, I mean, I've got a mil in the bank because I did the Jackson move the night before when he was going to go up.
When are you personally planning on potentially wildcarding?
I'm not too sure really. I think I'm just gonna play. I'm gonna play game by game and just see what happens. Really, I mean, like I said, my transfers probably this week are probably kind of straightforward, but it's just a question of probably weighing on stuff and all that, and just seeing what happens. Really.
Yes, and I think your team is, well, it's set up perfectly. You don't need to do anything. I think, like you say, it's going to be next week. One of either Rashford or Fernandes. Out for someone or.
Well, I have 2 free transfers, and I'll get your opinion on this, and if the chat wants to say anything. But Bruno and Martinelli to Mbumo, who has Bournemouth at home, and Foden, who has Fulham. What do you think about that? For free.
I think they sound too good to be true. I'd still try and hold on to Martinelli personally. I'd wait and see on Foden tomorrow. Foden may be rubbish tomorrow. Foden may be absolutely pants. He won't be. He could be. He may not be that particularly great form tomorrow. So I think that maybe hold off the Foden, but certainly Martinelli to Mbeumo. Maybe even, can you do Matoma to Mbeumo? Or do you want to keep Matoma?
Yeah, well, that's another thing I was thinking about, because Brighton's fixtures aren't great. I mean, Newcastle at home, that's not great. Then United, Bournemouth, okay, is all right, and then
Aston Villa, Liverpool, Man City. I'll be honest with you. I think Matoma out for Mbeumo, and then just assess Foden tomorrow.
Yeah, well, that's what in the back of my mind, and then I think maybe a defender transfer to get a better defence, but who knows? I
don't think you don't need to be wasting a transfer to get a better defence. Your defence is fine. Stupinan can be swapped out for the Tottenham player, which means you've then got Chelsea and, I mean, even if he's a really
opinion over Saliba probably, because I think actually I don't know.
Well, whatever. I mean, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter which one you do, because neither Saliba or Stupinan are going to be keeping a clean sheet. But
I'd say the upside probably honest opinion, but.
Yeah, I wouldn't be wasting a transfer on that. But what I would do is probably potentially get rid of Matoma for Mbeumo. I think that's a brilliant move. Just to start with, just get that done. And then I would then wait and see how you feel next week. When is it? Friday? Yeah, next week, Friday. And then think to yourself, right then, is it really worth me getting rid of Martinelli, who is at home to Man United, a leaky Man United, or Fernandes, who, is playing in his favoured role, which is true. He is playing in his favoured role against an Arsenal team that can't keep clean sheets at home whatsoever. So I think you've got a tough decision there. But if I'm in your shoes, I'd probably do Matoma and Fernandes.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing that. I think they'll be the proposed transfers I'll have, but it's a case of waiting, really. So, yeah.
But I'd probably do it. I mean, I don't know what the situation is regarding the price rises or price falls, but I would have thought that Matoma, if anybody, is going to be going down in price. If anybody is, and the answer is, yeah, he's about 14th, 15th on the list of going down. He's had 16,000 transfers out already. Not that that's going to make much difference, but certainly he looks like the player that most people are probably. What about Are you able to bring in Maddison instead of Mbeumo?
Yeah, I could bring in Maddison for like basically probably any of the midfielders really.
I would seriously consider Maddison for Matoma.
Yeah, that's what I'm considering. It's just I think with the Man United play against Arsenal, I think that could be any goals really in that fixture. It just depends if I feel like I want to hold them for this week or take them out. That's the dilemma I've probably got really.
I think you've got the points. Get them gone.
That's what I'm saying. I'm happy that I got the Bruno points, and I think I'm gonna keep Rashford. I think for a few more weeks, and just see how he does, and then then Bruno could be gone. So
I think the fact that he's not playing, I think it's a good thing that Martial's back. Mind, I think that's a really good thing that Martial's back. It helps out Rashford a lot.
yeah, I really like Rashford on that left. I think he's just his preferred position, and he looked a lot more lively and stuff on that left hand side. Anyway, I really like so.
Right. Well, I'm sure we'll get you on next week at some point, but we'll find out tomorrow what happens with Foden, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if City put 7 past Sheffield, then who knows, mate?
What is your prediction on that game?
Well, I'm going to go, I think 4-0. I think Haaland 2 goals, Foden maybe like an assist or 2, and then a goal for him, I would say.
Because I've gone 3 now. Most people have gone 3 now. Okay, Animations. Cheers for that.
No worries, mate. Thanks for having me on.
No, thank you. See you later. There's Animations, and now we have Matt Smith. I wonder if this is the same Matt Smith as a member. I'm assuming it is. Just need to unmute your mic, Matt. And, I'll just do the Dial with a Vengeance joke again. You heard there's a barn at a school. Hello, Matt.
Sterve-O, how you doing?
Are you the same Matt as a member?
Yeah, of course.
Right. Good afternoon, good evening.
It's a pretty common name, but yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I've literally been using for members that we've deleted out the league. I've just said, that actually reminds me, I'm going to tell everybody on chat now, if you've been deleted out the members league and you want to be coming back into it because you know for a fact that you've been a member since game week 1, when you message me, can you just tell me what your actual FPL name is? So for argument's sake, if your FPL manager name is Matt Smith, just put my name's Matt Smith, because there's a load of people in the members which are using names we just literally do not recognise. So Jason will be reinstating, and away we go. Matt, what do we want to talk about? What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I just wondered if you ever think there will be a boy born who can swim faster than a shark.
What does Tim do? He just looks up in the air. Just like this. Why the fuck do I have to listen to this? What were you thinking, Gareth? What does he say? Actually, I want to do psychology. Actually. What is your favourite episode of The Office, just of interest?
You know, I like the training one, the training day.
I'm reviewing that tomorrow, or Monday, I think I am. I'm going to be doing the... I actually, when I watched it the other day, it's the scene where he literally just talks about the fable, and he says, yeah, it's like that fable where the dog with a bone, and he looks into the water and he goes, he's got my bone. He's yeah. And what does that mean? Yeah. Bones.
I think I think my 2 favourite bits of the that episode are Gareth go get the guitar and Gareth watch your fantasy. Two sisters. I'm just watching. I think it's just probably 2 of the best moments of the whole Office in that episode.
I love it when I love how straight the actor that plays Rowan is in it. I think Rowan is just absolutely magnificent, because we've all been there. I mean, I even had training a few weeks back, and it's just like, what are we doing here? I cannot stand sitting here watching this guy talking about things we already know about. And even he knows this. And it's just, then he's got this prat in David Brent that's trying to show off to him and everything. Oh, just awful. Just.
I actually think that's one of the best things about The Office is some of the kind of fringe, understated characters who probably don't realise at the time how fantastic they are. But then, you know, when you watch it for the 8th, 9th, 10th time each episode, you come to appreciate effectively an extra, but somebody who's hilarious.
Yeah, I've always made the point about The Office or extras. It's ironically, it's the supporting artists, so the extras that actually make the show. It's not the main characters themselves, because, you know, for instance, in extras, just in the scene where Andy goes to the Catholic meeting, the priest is potentially one of the best ever characters that Ricky and Steve have come out with. I think he's a piece of genius. Why were you lying? Well, I was trying to get off with her, to be honest with you. Are you a fan of extras?
You know, not as much as The Office.
God.
And I don't really know why. And I think a lot of people are like that as well, right? They've seen extras, but don't have the cult following of maybe what The Office does.
It annoys me because extras, I think, is just legitimately, I think it's more rewatchable than The Office. The Office, all right, I've seen it 450,000 times, and when I've been doing this watch back, I'm like, I can't believe how many lines I use in everyday life, or even like facial expressions and various other things. I genuinely can't believe, like, that's from The Office, but I do that every day and so on and so forth. But extras, honestly, I just, fuck me, I can't even speak. Being able to rewatch it over and over and over, it's just because it's just more comedy, like silly slapstick humour, which I really appreciate. Like Steve Merchant's character, Darren Lamb, it's just fantastic. And the chemistry between him and Ricky is just phenomenal. It's why I love Life's Too Short as well, because with Life's Too Short, you've got a parody of a parody of a parody of a parody. And people, I mean, my brother said to me, yeah, but I get the humour, but I just don't find it that funny. I just think, what am I missing here? There was a guy on Twitter, he messaged me and he said, I love the fact that you love Life's Too Short because I'm one of the few people that he knows that likes it. I'm like, Life's Too Short is just absolute piece of genius. People just don't see it. They're just so focused on, and quite rightly, how good The Office is. But for quite literally laugh out loud stupid moments, extras and Life's Too Short just piss all over it, to be honest with you. I think for a lot of people with The Office, especially if you're like in your 30s, when it first came out, it was in an era where, you know, we were all, you know, in our 20s, and it was one of the few things that you could watch on TV / at the time, you could only afford one DVD, so you would just go out and buy like The Office or whatever, and you would just watch it over and over and over again. Nowadays, you watch one thing and that's it, never going to watch it again, not going to bother. And I just think, like, comedy these days as well will never ever have an impact like The Office did. I think, personally, the last one that had any effect on society was The In-Betweeners. That was it. Can you think of any sitcom since the in-betweeners that's had a genuine culture effect on society? Because I can't think of anything.
I'd agree, and I think the one thing that The Office and the in-betweeners have got in common is that there's a finite number of episodes, right? Maybe 10, 15 for each, and that makes it even better in my opinion. And back to The Office, I think when The Office came out, I just started working, so I could relate it a little bit as well to people in the office environment. And I also think you made the point that it's, however good The Office is, it's actually kind of spoiled things a little bit as well, right? Either from quoting it all the time, or from my perspective, a little bit whenever I see Ricky or Mackenzie in any other shows, it's very hard to get their characters from The Office out of your head when you're watching it. So I definitely think that's maybe impacted some of Ricky Gervais's other shows, and how I perceive those shows.
Well, Mackenzie, I can personally suspend my disbelief for anything, so long as it's, obviously quite literally me being able to suspend my disbelief. And in The Detectorist, which obviously is Mackenzie Crook's, have you seen that?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's not bad.
You hesitated there. Am I making you nervous?
No.
No, I mean, yeah. I don't see Gareth in it. I actually think that The Detectorist is... I've seen The Detectorist about 7 times over. And I think that is just a work of art. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not particularly sitcom. It's more I wouldn't even call it a comedy drama, but that's what it's portrayed as. I would just call it a light-hearted drama. But I know what you mean. I know what you mean about seeing individuals. I mean, have you seen... I know Martin Freeman is like he used to be one of the biggest stars in film and TV. Have you seen him in the police drama called The Responder?
I have not, no.
That is fantastic. It's on a BBC iPlayer if you can access it. And it's called The Responder. He plays a Scouser, and he is absolutely fucking brilliant in it. He's so good. And it's the same with... have you seen Steve Merchant in the very dark drama called... it's based on a true story called 4 Lives?
Nah, and I'm in the US as well, so it's a little harder to get access to some of these shows. Four Lives is based on obviously the dating app Grindr. Well, in the UK there was a murderer. What would a murderer do with a dating app? There's a murderer that killed 3 or 4 guys via Grindr, and he plays the murderer, and he is phenomenal in it. Really, really good. But I don't see it and go, that's Darren Lamb, as a simple example. In fact, have you seen his Outlaws? No, I've not seen that as well.
I wouldn't bother. I was really disappointed. Like, it's... Ironically, he's the best thing in it. But the problem with Steve is that, unlike with Ricky, where Ricky has to be the centre of attention of everything, Steve isn't like that, and he wants to give the credit to others. He just wants to stay in the background, really, which is fair enough. But with the Outlaws, I just found that a lot of the characters weren't particularly... I couldn't gravitate towards any of them. And they weren't particularly likeable characters either. The story is fine. The story's pretty good. But as a character-based show, it's just terrible. It's like... have you seen Gervais's Afterlife? I'm assuming you have.
Yes. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Pretty good. I think it's atrocious. I can't stand it. I think it's... I saw a YouTube video that summed up my thoughts perfectly, but I can't suspend my disbelief when it comes to that show. I just think it's terrible, to be honest. But obviously now Ricky is at such a high standing within that world that he can pretty much do whatever the hell he wants. I mean, he could literally, I mean, even when he goes like live on Twitter, he's got like tens of thousands of people watching him. It's just, I don't know. I just find Ricky's solo stuff is just almost unbearable to watch. I can't deal with it. It's like Derek. Derek's Series 1 is fantastic. Series 2 is appalling. And then they did a... did they do 3 series of Derek, or was it just the 2 and then the Christmas edition?
I think it was 2.
Yeah, I think it was, and then they did a Christmas, and I'm just like, this is... I mean, admittedly, Cole Pilkington was brilliant in the first series. He was the best thing about it. But there was heart to the Series 1. Series 2, he just takes it to the next level, where I'm just like, yeah, this has just become stupid, silly, ridiculous comedy, which is just like, you've taken me out of this world of like an OAP retirement home to this, I don't know, it's just typical Ricky Gervais. I want to spout off my opinions and just Bible bash everything. I just did not like Series 2 whatsoever. But what's this got to do with fantasy football? How's your season going anyway so far by game week 3? Albeit we're at game week 3.
Yeah, not too bad. I've got Sterling since the start, which is
since the start,
which is great. Yeah, so I don't know. I just put the guys in who I like watching, and Sterling's always been one of them. And yeah, so I've had a pretty good start. I think I need to get rid of Havertz. I've got Foden in. So I tend not to go for the obvious picks. And I just, enjoy playing that way rather than having, the template. And I think now I'm just going to try and pivot to have the fundamental players in each team. So Maddison, maybe go for Bowen, and just have the guys who are going to play week in, week out, and will always kind of consistently get points over a number of weeks. That's my plan.
Yeah, it's very, very similar to what I'm going with, because I'm just looking at your team here. You've still got 4 players left: Salah, Foden, Alvarez, and Haaland. Now, if those Man City players, what were you expecting that game to end as? What's your prediction for that?
Sheffield United, right? I think it could either be tight, like 1-2-0 to Man City, or it could be like 4 or 5, really depending on how the game starts. But yeah, I'm kind of kicking myself for not captaining Sterling and going for Haaland. But I think that the points will be shared out. Maybe the main guys will all get 1 return each. That'd be my expectation.
If, for argument's sake, Haaland does what he usually does over the past few game weeks and just looks a bit meh, which he has done. Even against Burnley, he wasn't exactly like, oh my god, I'm so glad I've got him in. If he just looks meh, could this be a case of I don't need to captain him as much as most people should be? Let's just say Man City win 4-0 and he just gets 1 goal.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think Haaland's a bit of a fast-track bully, right? So he tends to do well against the smaller teams. I mean, my view is just based on his ownership. If he does well, then you get the points. But to me, if you captain somebody else and they do well, that euphoria is kind of way better than maybe captaining somebody else and that player not doing well. Versus just going for Haaland, right? It's just boring, right? This game's meant to be fun. For me, the thing I enjoy about fantasy football is I can't really gamble. You can't really gamble in California, therefore it kind of replaces that. And it's meant to be, it's meant to be fun. It's meant to be, an escape for normal life. So if everyone's got the same team, what's the point, right? I mean, I play NFL fantasy, And that's great because nobody has the same team. It's a draft, so you want your players to do well because nobody else has them. But fantasy football, if 90% of the players have captained Haaland, then it's just it's just nothing, right? It's it's just boring.
Yeah, I'm certainly, since playing Sky Fantasy Football, this is my first season, I don't even know what I'm doing, but it certainly seems more rewarding on strategy. Like, Firetog would be a perfect player for Sky because he can strategize and it would pay him, basically, whereas FPL, I've noticed, is a very reactive game where it's just, oh, he scored, let's just bring him in. Most people have brought him in, so
Yeah.
it doesn't.
FPL's a simple game.
Yeah.
Yeah, FPL's a simple game, and that's why it's so successful. But if everyone's got the same 7 or 8 players, then it's just not that interesting. And the Sky game, again, I think that's only open for players in the UK. But it sounds a little bit more strategic. There's more, different ways to get points, and therefore there's a little bit more variability to it. Hopefully they'll make some changes to the FPL game in the future. But I suspect, given its success, why change it? Why change it if it's not broken? I really struggle to see how many content creators there are around making a living off this game when there isn't actually that much to the game, right? I mean, everyone comes out with the same 4 or 5 players on a watch list, and it's the same 4 or 5 players who exceeded expectation the week before, and credit to them if you can make a living out of this thing, but it's there's not a lot of variability to it. It's kind of a saturated game, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, I always go back to Harbour Boy, and there's only, and like we all know this, there's only a small pool of players you can choose from in FPL, which is true. It's like in fact, in NFL fantasy, how many players realistically do most people choose from? Is it like a ballpark? I mean, how many players can you choose from full stop in the game? I wouldn't even know how many teams there are in NFL, because there's 20 teams in the Premier League, so in theory you can pick 400 different players. So you've got a pool of 400 different players to pick from, whatever the maths is on that. In NFL, how many players are there in theory to pick from? How many teams are there, for example?
Yeah, so there's 32 teams in the NFL, and the squads are a lot bigger. But in a league, you tend to have maybe between 10 and 14 teams, and each team has, I think, 10 players. So there's about 120, 140 players in each mini league at any point in time, and maybe the pool is 500 or 600 people. But like I say, because you can only have one player, I guess the equivalent in the Premier League would be, you might have, if your first pick, you'll have Haaland, but then when it gets to the second round picks, you're maybe picking number 13, and you'll be down to Diaz, and then the next round.
Oh, this is draft.
A lot of good players have come. Yeah, it's draft. It's all draft.
It's not like this, right? I see.
No. So the point is, you've got 10 players in your team, but nobody else has got those 10 players. So if any of your 10 players get points, then you're getting 100% of those points, right? Not 5% of the points if you're captaining, that you get with Haaland because everyone else has captained him. So it's just very, very different. And I think in the US, more people play, NFL fantasy than FPL. It's more kind of entrenched in the culture over here, I would say. FPL's catching up, but I mean, there are literally TV stations, radio stations dedicated to fantasy sports in the US. It's way bigger than in the UK.
Yeah, and that's it. I think that with like I say, with FPL, for example, you know, it's all about combination. Like, your combination is your 3 Man Cities are the 3 most attacking players within their team, whereas I've spread it across 3 different positions: defender, midfielder, striker. There may be somebody that's got the 2 strikers and a defender, and there's all these different combinations within FPL, but it's all still the same players. Like, there isn't going to be someone here, for argument's sake, that's got Haaland, Palmer and Foden. And if there is, it's going to be probably one person that owns Palmer. You take Man United as a prime example. Most people have got Fernandes, Rashford, Onana, or Onana and Rashford, or Fernandes and Onana, or one of the other defenders or whatever, but it's only going to be a small ballpark. Like, is anybody going to really be owning Varane? No. I mean, he's owned by 6% of the game. Wan-Bissaka is owned by 6% of the game. Dalot, 1% of the game. Admittedly, he's come in because Shaw's injured. Shaw is owned by 15% of the game. But even with Onana, 28% of the game own him. With a Kanji that I've got, 12%. And it's all, you know, small percentages. But the thing is that most people that are playing this quote seriously, within reason, we've all got, like, you know, it's an argument. It's the same argument every single week, isn't it? We've all got virtually the same teams. I mean, even if I look at someone like, let's just take the top of the YouTube chat league for argument's sake. So Vijay, right, in goal. So he's 900. All right, now he's not. He's 1093rd in the world. Right now the game's updated, so he's 1093rd in the world. So he's got Johnson and Turner. I've got Onana and Turner. He's got Gusto. Well, he's never going to play him, but he's got a Stupinan, Chilwell and Saliba. I've got a Stupinan, Chilwell, a Kanji. But again, he's changed the combination. He's just decided to play Gusto, whereas I've got a Kanji instead. In his midfield, Saka. I've got Saka. Martinelli. I've got Martinelli. Foden. I've got Foden. I've got Rashford. He's got Mbeumo. He's got Salah, whereas I've got Sterling. And then up front, he's got Visa, whereas I've got Jackson, and obviously he's got Haaland. Then you look at Alex Volo's team, who's wildcard this week, and he's gone. So it's Edison versus Onana, and then it's Chilwell, Estupinan, same as me. Then he's got Saliba, and then it's Saka, Martinelli, Foden, Sterling. Well, I've got all 4 of them, plus he's got Son. Haaland and Jackson, I've got both of them. And the point being, it just goes on and on. It's only like the odd player here or there that individuals take punts on. Whereas...
Yeah, and that's why I think I try to pick players like Havertz rather than, the guy who scored today, Saka, and I went for Foden and Sterling from the start, right? Slightly differential picks, but not crazy, just to be a little different. But I think, unfortunately, the last 1 or 2 seasons, the template has been pretty effective from the start, right? And I think once you get behind an FPL, it's really, really hard to catch up. And so the answer is probably to go with the template. But then, I just don't find that too enjoyable, right? And that's why I think I much prefer the probably the US fantasy sports, because it is totally different, and it's the draft format. I think it works way better.
Yeah, I'm just looking now that the game's actually updated. I'm just looking at, for instance, Firetalk, who wildcarded, and he is 1 point ahead of me. Bearing in mind I took a -12. He is ahead of me by 1 point, and his differential on me it's for tomorrow. How do you spell his name? Vardiol versus Akanji, as a simple example. So that's them two fighting out. Gabriel Derop, who's above me, he's got Isaac, DRB. So Isaac and DRB versus Foden and Akanji tomorrow. You've then got, this is the moderator league for anybody that cares. Top spot, Paul E, who is 606,000th. He's got Alvarez, Diaz, Jota tomorrow. So those differentials there, Jota, Diaz and Alvarez, could be huge in that Liverpool versus Newcastle game.
Yeah, and those Liverpool-Newcastle games, I think, historically are always pretty high scoring, right? I mean, I remember the 4-3s.
But they're not.
Probably showing my age, but yeah, maybe recently they've been a lot tighter, but I can see it being a high-scoring game tomorrow.
Well, I'm really hoping that Eddie Howe just decides from the start, get at them. Now, you being in America, you can watch all these games. I mean, I can't tomorrow, but in theory, I could watch the Newcastle game as an example. But you can watch the 3 p.m. kickoffs, can't you?
Yeah, you can watch basically any Premier League game. So it's great. I actually watch more soccer now than I used to do when I lived in the UK, because the games are on really early in the morning, right? 7 a.m., 8 a.m. because of the time difference. And yeah, you can get access to every game. And then occasionally they have, can't remember what the show is, but with the three teams attacking, so you're almost seeing match of the day, but live. So it is actually kind of way better watching football out here than in the UK.
Why did you move to America? Just some interest.
I moved out about 10 years ago, and I was working for a company, and I I got invited to apply for a job out here. Kind of newly.
Matt, can you hear me?
Yeah, California. Yeah.
Can you hear me, Matt? Are you moving around? Your signal completely broke up just then.
Yeah. Yeah. A little.
No, you're gone. Sorry.
Is that better? No.
Yeah. Just wherever you're standing, just stay there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm actually driving around. I'm driving my my young kid who's napping in the back of the car. So I apologise, but yeah. So I moved out about 10 years ago.
Right. Okay. Is it, without stating the bloody obvious, but is it better than living in England, or exactly the same?
I mean, after a while, life just becomes life, right? You still go to work, you get home, you do chores, but it's great. It's a great life out here. The weather's great. So you live near the beach, got swimming pools. It's kind of very kind of outdoorsy life, but it's definitely kind of things we miss about the UK as well, right? Whether it be just going to the pub as a simple example, or going to the races, or eating a Sunday lunch, things like that you miss, and as well as obviously friends and family. But it's a good life out here, good opportunities, and it's just kind of nice to do something a little different, right? Even if it's just for a few years, right? We'll end up moving back to the UK at some point, but it's kind of nice to
really?
Experience something else.
Why do you think you'll be moving back to the UK? Family, or?
Yeah, just family getting older, or just wanting our kids to, experience kind of growing up or life in the UK as well. So, and the US has got a lot of issues, right? And certainly as you get old as well, having free healthcare is kind of really important, and the healthcare over here is certainly not free. So there's kind of lots of reasons why I think we'll move back one day, but now we're kind of enjoying life out here. So it's a pretty cool place to live.
Where are you originally from?
Yorkshire.
Is that where you would move back to?
Yeah, I don't know actually. Yeah, either Yorkshire, or we've got family kind of around the UK, so we'd probably have various options. I'd actually quite like to move to the southwest as well, kind of Cornwall area, and live by the beach. So
very quiet though.
Yeah, I guess London or big cities.
Don't move to London, trust me. Don't bother.
Yeah.
It's horrific.
Yeah.
Like London's good for doing things, and for if you're a career person and you want to kind of like get up the ranks or whatever, London's good. But other than that, it's a shithole, mate. And I would not recommend anybody moving to London unless you're single and whatever other reasonings. But I certainly would not advise anybody to move to London.
Yeah. Got all the new that, and then when they start, when I was in, and then to back up to London, but I don't think I'm gonna maybe work in London, but I don't think I'm gonna London time.
No.
But anyway.
Well, that's perfect segment, Matt.
Come on, but I've got to.
No, thank you for the support. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers, dude.
No. Keep up the good work. Cheers. Bye.
Cheers, dude. There we are. Very, 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 very. I don't know how long Matt's been a supporter of the show for. It's certainly been quite a while, and I know that much. And like I say, this is the best thing about the Discord, for argument's sake. Individuals like Matt or whoever can come on, chat to a miserable bastard like me, and talk about whatever. But yeah, in answer to Matt's point about Liverpool high scoring, and I said no, yeah, they're not. These are the last 6 results. 2-0, all Liverpool. 2-0, 2-1, 1-0, 3-1, 1-1, 0-0. So if there is going to be a winner tomorrow, it looks like it is going to be Liverpool. The history for the predictions this week has gone, well, it's been crap, to be honest with you. It got the Chelsea one right, expected Chelsea to score 3, but expected Luton to score, so it went 3-1. Bournemouth Spurs, I went 1-1, expected it to be 3-2 to Spurs. Although, if you're expecting if you personally, again, it's all about how you read into it, and if you want to use it as a biased reference point of view for your own team selection, if you read into this, there's been 3 clean sheets in the last 6, albeit 2 for Bournemouth. But you could go, well, Tottenham are the better team. I've got the defender from Tottenham, and there's been 3 clean sheets in this fixture. I may just risk the Tottenham player, but whatever. Arsenal, Fulham, I mean, each one, I went 3-0, history went 3-1. Although, only 2 clean sheets for Arsenal across the last 6, and both of them were away from home. But Brentford, Crystal Palace, I went 1-0, the history went 1-1. 5 draws across the last 6, 3 of them being 1-1, 2 of them being 0-0. Everton, Wolves, I went 1-0. I don't know why I put 2-1 for Everton here for the history when it should have been 2-1 to Wolves, because in the last 4, normally I would actually put, in fact, you know what, I'm going to change that to Wolves. 2-1 to Wolves. Wolves are unbeaten in the last 4. We'll make that the last 5. They're unbeaten now. Man United 1-0. History said 2-0. Completely fell flat with the history on that. Brighton West Ham, I went 2-1. History went 2-0. Yeah, despite the fact that the last 2 Brighton have won 0, previous to that, West Ham have scored in every game. So tomorrow the history's going 3-1 to Aston Villa, 1-0 to Man City and 2-0 to Liverpool. But based on what's happened today, the history's having a stinker, so I wouldn't read anything into that whatsoever. Mr. Reed said, I thought it was AEW tonight. No, it's tomorrow, mate. It's tomorrow. Animation saying the City points will be shared tomorrow. Yeah, I think that's possibly the case. Matty's saying I put a tenner on City not losing tomorrow. There's no chance. Well, Everton certainly won't be beating Sheffield United. What's my week score on Super Brew? Well, probably about 3 points based on that. Everton need a striker badly. Yes, they do indeed. I just want to quickly check on the information that I've just seen in the chat before I report on it. Because I don't want to be reporting anything. Don't want to be reporting anything, do I? That isn't real. Let's see. Here we go. Here. Right then. Christ almighty. Okay, I'm not going to bother reading that out. I don't really care, to be honest with you. If it's true, it's true. If it's not, it's not. It's not even based on his thing anyway. Yeah. Sorry, I was just reading a notification that has nothing to do. In fact, you know what? To hell with it, I'll just read it out. From Dan Cox from Sky FF. I hate that in FPL you sell a player who's gone up to say 5.3 for 5.1 and lose money to buy him back if you wanted to take him out for a couple of weeks. Plus other people's transfers affect the prices of others. Seems weird to me. Yeah, exactly. I think everybody, I know trigger lips. Even with me, I worry about price rises and stuff like that. So, God. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Hopefully people enjoyed that stream. I'm sure I'm going to read all the hate comments tomorrow. I can't wait for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Put a misery on that. Remember, Jason's going live tomorrow with Sunday surgery. So if everything goes to plan tomorrow, don't bother ringing in. If it's all gone tits up, you know what to do. Ring in and find out. But just a quick one. So the YouTube chat league right now, right as it stands, because it's all updated, is as follows. Vijay is first. He is 9 points clear of Alex Volo. FPA Bailey is third, who's 10 points behind Alex Volo. And then we got Michael Svedin, who's 3 points behind FPL Bailey. In the Rivals League, we have got probably the same people. Yep, Vijay is top. Then we got El Maka, who's 1 point behind Vijay. Alex Volo third, and Mr. Anderson, who is now fourth. And then finally in the Members League, we've got as follows. Matty T is still top. He has actually got a decent lead now. He is 25. Wow. Matty, 25 points clear at the top of the Members League. He had Madison today. Sanchez. And he's got Salah for tomorrow. And Haaland, of course. But then we got Peter Scullion, FPL Harry, and then Cinnamon, who is fourth. In fact, Peter Scullion, Harry, and Cinnamon are all on exactly the same points, 184. In fact, Matty T, yeah, he is, he's 23 odd points clear of top spot. Well done, Matty. Storm it. Can he keep it up? Crazy. And Animations is 11th, yep, on the YouTube chat league. So, right then, is there a public league we can join? Probably, but Jason has the details to that, and he's not here, so you'll have to ask him tomorrow. I only run the YouTube chat league. Jason runs a couple of others, and moderators run another couple of others. Whereas for me, I am doing absolutely appallingly. Let's just hope tomorrow it goes a bit better, but who knows. That just to let you guys know, there may potentially, unlikely, but could be a stream tomorrow evening. But I very much doubt I'm going to do it, but I know for a fact that I'm going to be trying to avoid the scores tomorrow. Right, let's get out of here. As ever, if you have enjoyed the stream, which I know for fat people haven't, simply hit the like button. If you are brand new around here and want to subscribe to this rubbish and get slated and slagged off, hit the like and hit the subscribe button if you want. On that note, I'm getting out of here. Cheers, everybody, and I'll catch you probably Monday, if anything. See you soon, but make sure you tune into Jason tomorrow.